All right, so the next thing you need to do is inside of your playbook here, for the data blueprint, you should have settled on a final number of sources. So these are your marketing sources. And we need to go into QuickBooks and create a marketing sub account for each one of these sources. And the reason for that is we need to, in order to provide a cost per lead for your web search leads, we need to make sure that the expenses or the marketing dollars that you're spending in web search are getting attributed to a sub account in your marketing budget so that we could then match up, what was the total you spent in web search? How many leads did you get? Total divided by how many leads, that's your cost per lead. So if you go into your QuickBooks account here, we're going to go in and look at the chart of accounts. And if we search for marketing, you should see we have, and this is by default, it says advertising and marketing. It's an expense. We're going to go ahead and edit this. I like just renaming it marketing, keeping it simple. So we're going to have it be marketing. The type is an expense, and the detail type is advertising and promotional. And we can go ahead and hit save. Now, if I back out of that, and then go find the marketing account. So we've got the marketing, which should be on here. Let's go to the next page. There we go. So marketing is the one we just have here. And you can see that by default, it already has a few listed here. So rather than anytime that you close accounts, it just creates, you can't actually really delete it, just like archives it or hides it. So I recommend renaming whatever accounts you can and then only creating the new ones of the ones that are necessary. So like website ads, that's very, very close to the category that we created here called web search. So I'm going to go to the website ads account, edit this, and then change this to web search. The expenses, advertising, promotional, that's fine. It's a sub account to marketing, and this would be cost to promote the business on web search. And I hit save. Then the next one that I want to do is the social media. So I think we have one that's similar to that. Yep, it's actually called social media. And the only thing is we do need to edit it to make sure that it's 100% match, like character for character, as what's in our system. So that's good. We're going to go ahead and save. And then the listing fees, this was just a default one in QuickBooks, but we're going to go ahead and change that to, let's go back to our, where are we at? There we go. So as I make these, I'm going to cross them out so I know that I'm good. And then brand, we're going to replace listing fees with brand. And this is going to be cost for brand related marketing expenses. And go ahead and hit save. And so now we've renamed all of the ones that we have currently. So we got brand, social media, web search. Now we need to make the new accounts for the ones that are missing still. So I just did brand. I'll cross that out. Now we're doing trade show. And this is going to be an expense, and advertising and promotional. It's going to be a sub account of the marketing budget. And the description would be marketing expenses related to trade show. And go ahead and hit save. And then again, you're going to continue through this process for each of the sources that you have, or each source that you have in your data blueprint needs to have an exact match to the chart of accounts in your QuickBooks. So again, you're going to see each one of these: direct mail, it's an expense; advertising and promotional, sub account for the marketing, and we're putting it in there. This is direct mail marketing expenses. And again, the most critical thing is that the account name is 100% identical. I can't say that enough, to your brand or your marketing sources. So that is an absolute must. Once you get through the rest of these, you should have, if you've got 9 sources, you should have 9 marketing sub accounts. in my opinion, you do not want to have any other sources, any other sub accounts than these 9. You could, in very rare circumstances, if someone in the business is just adamant about this, like uniforms. That's a really common one that I see in marketing. Uniforms are a sub account of brand because you're not like, you can't track. Customers don't say, I came to you because you guys have really nice uniforms, but your uniforms contribute to your overall brand and professionalism. Vehicle wraps, that's another thing. I would say just throw it all in brand, but if someone is adamant about knowing, I want to know how much we spent on uniforms, then what you would do is you'd create an account that's called uniforms. And like, we can even say uniforms and vehicle wraps or whatever. But that's the account that you make. And then this would be, once again, an expense, advertising and promotional. It's a sub account. And we're going to put it in the brand account. So it's actually like a sub account. And now you'll see when we look at the marketing thing here, we still only want one sub account for each thing. But any dollars that you allocate specifically to the uniforms are going to be rolled up into that brand. And that's still going to allow us to say, our brand leads, which are your organic leads, contributed or like cost this much. So you do not want to have more than this many, however many sources you have, that's how many sub accounts you want. If you are adamant about having more, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you want to do that, just make sure it's under the appropriate sub account for whatever sources you have. So that's the process for marketing sub accounts.